Okay, back with you on the Bronx Buzz. I'm excited. Should I say I'm in love because Lovey is here? It is Lovie Pignata. Nice to see you, Lovey.
Hello, nice to see you too.
And for people who don't know, and I said to her, Lovey, you're wacky. And I meant that in the most affectionate, most wonderful way because Lovey has a vision of herself and her art and her work that creates very unusual stuff. So the last time we saw you was New Year's Eve, right? And you did ice sculptures.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, excuse me. Oh, right, there was the big heart.
Yes, Smith.
But it's so long ago. When did you? All right, here we go. When did you start painting pianos?
A
This is
few
what we're
months
going to talk
ago.
about today.
Yes, a few months ago, I Sing for Hope accepted my proposal for a bodega cat themed piano.
Bodega cat themed. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now I recall there were other painted pianos in the past. Am I remembering that correctly? I
No,
remember
this is
there.
my first.
No, I don't mean from you. I mean in general. That's what has been done.
Yes, since 2011, since 9/11, I believe that's when Sing for Hope was started, and they began in New York, hiring artists to paint many donated
Right.
pianos and place them around the city. Now
That
they're all
that's what I
over.
remember. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. What were you going to say? What was the
now
last
they're
thing?
all over the world.
Wow. That well,
Yes,
good for them. Um, I remember one. It was up on Marshall Parkway in one of the parks up there. I recall. So stupid question of the day. You didn't have to buy a piano, did you?
no, they use donated
They
pianos.
use donated pianos, and what do you have to do? You have to submit a proposal of what you're going to make it look like.
Yes, they have a very simple template of a generic piano, and they ask for your design. It was one of the easier processes in the art world to sketch out the piano on their form and send it in. And then they let us know right away. They chose 15 artists.
15 artists for like this year's stuff that they're putting
Yes,
out in New York City.
For New York City.
Could you, and we're going to tell people where it's going to be in just a moment, but could you say, hey, I'm a Bronx person, I'd like it in the Bronx, or it could have
They
been in
wouldn't
Staten
let us.
Island for all you know?
They did match all the piano painters to their borough. So
Oh,
I
they
kind
did?
of
Oh, that makes sense.
assumed it would be in the Bronx, but I
Right.
don't know if that's always true.
So now you've painted murals, you've done right and done all kinds of different artwork and all kinds of different projects. You sold coffee at one point. You did
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff, which we know about. What was this like? And was this like painting a mural just on a different palette, or was this like something? Well, now I'm doing a piano, and there were some considerations.
There were considerations because it is 3D, even though it has flat portions.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So I did like the 3D effect that you could create, like with the.
Anderson, pop it back up so we can look at it again. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sure. They took that photo before I had gotten the last finishes on it, but that's pretty close to the end. So the row of colors is boxes of candy. So many bodegas
Oh.
just like rows and rows of just colors. So that's what I created there without making any of them too, recognizable. I just wanted it to be generic and be about the cats.
And then if you lifted that up and pushed it back, it's an actual piano that plays.
Yes, yes,
Wow. So let's see now, they'll be stationed throughout the city to play for 3 weeks. Is that what I'm to
yes.
understand? And you had the grand opening. Now today is, the 11th. We're recording this on the 11th. So does that mean last night or yesterday, down on Liberty Street, they had the, grand opening or something of that?
Yes, it was beautiful. So all
Did they
15
have all the
pianos.
pianos?
They had all 15 pianos because the studio is in the basement of 28 Liberty. So they wheel all the pianos out. They had a choir. They have a sing
Oh my
folk
goodness.
choir, which I didn't realize until yesterday. They had different school children singing. They had professional piano players. There were some
Wow.
players who have
It
played all of
and
them.
you must have just been thrilled to be part of that,
It
to
was
know that
wonderful.
you had and your piano was there?
Yes.
Wow. And so I guess I could do a drum roll on my microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, where can we see Lovey Pignata's Bronx? I own it already. It's the Bronx Piano. Where can we see that?
Crotona Park's Tennis Center.
Perfect. I know that that's where it was. It's right in the center of the borough geographically, and so the idea is to just encourage people to music and art and all those kinds of things that we actually believe in. Well, anything else you want to tell me about the painting of it? They provide the materials, or was it
Yes.
something and did you actually paint them down there in Liberty Street? Is that
Yes.
what you said? The studio was there.
Yes, it's a beautiful studio, and the studio manager, artist in residence Patrick, is a wonderful host.
Wow,
And so
that
we,
is great.
yeah, so they gave us, over a month to paint it, so you could go in between other projects or whenever
Wow.
you wanted to between those hours and paint with other artists.
I was going to
Great.
say that there must be some real enjoyable collaboration in there because you're with other artists who are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But that really facilitates a lot. Um, okay, so that was one thing. Okay, the next thing, which you got to understand, I get a lot of emails from a lot of people. Very few people have said, "Well, I'm kind of doing a pasta room." And so I get this email. Lovey says, I'm working on some stuff. And I say, okay, sure, let me know. We're always happy to promote good stuff in the Bronx. And she said, it's called the Elbow Room. And I'm creating a pasta room. So what? I told you, she's on the wacky side, but it's good wacky. So what is the pasta room, and where is that pasta room?
I'm with Bronx Art Space. I was chosen by Bronx Art Space for a residency on Governor's Island from May through the end of July. And I've been given a room on the second floor of Colonel's Row, which is a 1900 home that they used to lure new people to sign up for the armed forces.
Wow.
Yes, so it's a beautiful old
So
house.
I think we're going to create a pasta room here. So now Anderson has a couple of photos. So what is the pasta room, and what the heck are you doing?
Um, the pasta room is based on my upbringing in the 70s.
Okay.
And even though I'm only 10% Italian, my family always acted as though we were 100% Italian. It was the only culture we celebrated. So it's kind of a play on that. And the 70s era, my mom loved macrame. She did those rug hook kits. So all of that is incorporated. Beaded curtains, made everything made out of pasta.
And where are you at in now, Anderson? Can we pop? I know we saw some pictures. Here we go. Here, here's
There's
the
a
beaded.
sample of the curtain.
Here's the pasta curtains. Now, is this done, or you're still
It's in
working?
progress. I'm about a third of the way done. The centerpiece of the room is a chandelier based on like the shell lights of the 70s. And
Oh, I
but it,
remember those. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
so pasta shells, pasta beads, and that takes up the whole ceiling and much of the room.
And it is the elbow room.
Yes, I have a lot of elbow macaroni
Uh,
making panels from it. I've gotten a lot farther since I emailed you, so I have updated photos.
there's more to come. There's more to eat.
Yeah.
Um, uh, okay. Again, I'm filled with it today. Stupid question of the day: how many boxes of pasta did you buy?
So far, about 30 pounds.
30 pounds. Oh,
Yes,
so you
30
bought them
pounds.
in bulk, right?
Yes.
I'm just thinking that the Barilla pasta, and you went in there, and all of a sudden nobody in the neighborhood could get pasta because because Lovey bought it. But of course, yes, you bought like in bulk. So
Yes.
30 pounds of pasta. Do you think you're going to run out?
Oh, that's what I've gone through. So I'm
Um,
adding to it. I had asked a major brand to sponsor the room and give me 200 pounds, which they initially said yes to. And then 10 days later, I got a very corporate response saying,
oh
we
yeah.
need a lot of notice. So that really kind of put me behind because I thought I had my pasta taken care of.
Um, so let's see. I've got it reached. Let's see. You use penne, spaghetti, farfalle, and many other varieties of pasta. Create beaded curtains, a shag rug, and a giant chandelier. Here we go. What is this?
that's one panel that I've created. I have some frames that I'm doing that will all have pasta art in them. This has ditalini, lasagna, and a lot of penne because penne is mitered on the edges, so it makes for great frames.
Who would know? Who would know? You know, I could just see me on Arthur Avenue saying, you know, I'd like the one that makes good frames. Is that's the pasta I want to use? Um, it's just fascinating. Now, one thing I want to know about this because there's I don't know that there's any model you can. Oh, let's the great Van Gogh pasta works of the past. I'm going to imitate those. Do you plan ahead of time? You have a concept, or do you actually draw it out and see what it will look like, or do you say, oh, maybe this will go here? You know, in other words, how much planning went into it?
Into each piece, the panels I'm doing, those are pretty free flowing. My mom loved very representational art, like flowers. So I'm doing a lot of flower motifs. That one is loosely based on a oh, I can't think of the name of the flower, but
That's okay.
almost all of the panels will be botanical, which I did a lot of botanical drawing many years ago through the courses at the botanical gardens.
I,
So, but the room itself was just very set. You know, I love I love beaded curtains, so I think that's fun and
Wow.
such an easy
I personally,
translation.
the beads are one thing. I do go with the pasta curtains. When I go into Target to buy curtains, then I say, do you have the pasta curtains? Anyway, listen, so this is Governor's Island. Must be fun because you get the great scenery taking the boat out there.
It is amazing.
Yes, I've been out there. It's amazing.
I've been spending a lot of time out there. During the week, it's very quiet. The hours have been extended, so I stay late, and we get a ferry pass with our
Well,
residency.
that's
So
helpful. That is
yes,
helpful.
it does.
Okay, so let's see. The open house is on the last weekend in July, and then it'll run
Yes,
for a couple of months,
it
couple of
will.
weeks.
No, it'll just be open that weekend.
That
So our whole
weekend.
yes, so our whole
Wow.
house.
Wow.
Hopefully,
You gotta let. Do we know the dates yet?
yes, July 27th and 28th, 12 to 5 p.m.
Okay, so let's everybody do that at Governor's Island and see the Pasta House. Boy, I'm gonna put it on my calendar. I hope I don't have anything on there yet. You never know. Listen, please, Lovey, please stay wacky. We love you. You are just so important to us in the Bronx, and we appreciate you being with us in the Bronx Buzz.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate
It's just a joy to have you because you're coming up with stuff. We like that. And that'll do it for the Bronx Buzz. We thank Christina from the park, Van Cortlandt Park, and Lovey Pignata. And that's it. If the curtain don't fall and the creek don't rise, we will be back next week. Good night.